As Attorney General, you have my word that we will use every possible tool available to us to investigate this death thoroughly and swiftly.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. It's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we have to talk about the death of Robert Brooks, an inmate in upstate New York who was killed, it appears to be via a beating given to him by corrections officers. Now, the investigation is still not going on, but there is body cam video that has been released, and it looks absolutely horrific. I'm a retired police officer, 25 and a half years. And it makes me sick. I'm not going to post a video on this video. I will tell you that it is on my X account, which is @OpinionsVary. It is pinned to the top of my profile where you can see the actual footage. I can't show it here on YouTube. It's hard to watch. It, to me, my opinion, is 100 times worse than the George Floyd video. I really can't believe what I'm watching. It makes me sick to my stomach. I'll get into more how I feel about it after we watch this report from Fox News, and we'll just go from there. As I said, it's very upsetting. As someone who was in law enforcement, I wasn't corrections, I was the police. But it's a stain. I don't care what preceded this. I don't care what this inmate did before this happened. What you will see in this report and what you will see in the body cam video if you go to my X account is abuse. It's unacceptable. And those that are responsible should be held to the highest standard, charged to the fullest extent of the law, and punished to the fullest extent of the law. I don't like to get ahead of these things usually. In fact, all the time, I don't like to get ahead of these things because I know how videos can be deceiving, taken out of context. There's really no wiggle room here. There's nothing that I could take out of context here, or I think anybody else can be taken out of context. And I think this, from what I could see, this is my opinion, everyone's innocent until proven guilty. From what I see, and through my experience of just knowing how things work, this was deliberate, and they didn't think they were going to get caught. And you'll figure that out as you listen to this report. So let's go.
With that investigation into the death of an inmate at a New York prison, the state attorney general's office releasing body camera footage today showing the beating that is being blamed for his death.
Fox 5's Morgan McKay has been reviewing the incident. She joins us live from the newsroom. Morgan, more than a dozen correction officers were involved in this.
Bianca, Natasha, it's a tough video to watch. Robert Brooks died shortly after this alleged assault. His family has seen the videos, but due to the graphic nature of the body camera footage, Fox 5 has decided to only show images of part of this alleged beating.
These videos are shocking and disturbing, and I advise all to take appropriate care before choosing to watch them.
The state attorney general's office released this footage recorded on body cameras worn by 4 correctional officers at the Marcy Correctional Facility in central New York. These videos, which have no audio, show Robert Brooks being carried into the infirmary by correctional officers. Brooks's hands are handcuffed behind his back when officers start punching him. They then hoist him up by his neck very forcefully, and one officer starts to smack Brooks with a shoe. One officer then used his booted foot to kick and pin down Brooks.
Now, you got to remember, they already said it. He was handcuffed behind his back this entire time. Handcuffed, already restrained with handcuffs behind his back. Now, there has been times where people that I've dealt with that have been handcuffed behind their back who can become combative. They have feet, they have saliva in their mouth, they have teeth, they have their head. But none of what you will see on this video, none of it is justifiable. This is not how you're trained. This is not how you are taught ever. And when I was working, and especially when I became a union delegate and then a supervisor, first thing I ever said when I was a supervisor and I got assigned to the place that I was going to work as the first night, I said to that roll call, I said, when you're fighting with somebody who's resisting arrest, I said, use your tactics, use your training, use the tools at your disposal that you've been trained to use, and you escalate up to using the tools, whatever you feel you need to get this person into handcuffs. Once the person is in handcuffs, all of that stops, and that person is picked up and brought back to the station. There is no punching after they're in handcuffs. There's no kicking. There's no anything unless you need to restrain their feet. You restrain their feet. You bring them back down to the ground. You call for backup. You do whatever you have to do, but there is no more punching. There's no elbowing. There is no kicking. There is no stomping. Once that person is in handcuffs, it's over, because you cannot articulate 99.9% of the time why you need to do that when somebody's already handcuffed. And what you're going to see in this video is outrageous, and it's egregious. I'm sorry. It makes me sick. I'm sorry I'm rambling on, but this is a stain on all law enforcement, not just corrections officers, all law enforcement. And after the investigation's done and they have their day in court, which they deserve, as any American citizen does, I hope that they suffer the consequences after the trial is over, because I can't see this going any other way. That's my opinion. Again, everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Another officer punched Brooks in his upper body, and one of the officers again punched Brooks while handcuffed. At one point, Brooks was sat up with his face bloodied, and an officer punched him again. Brooks was then pulled up by his collar and forced to the wall. The next part of the video, which we're not showing due to its graphic nature, shows Brooks being carried back to the table seemingly unconscious. Brooks died the following morning at a Utica hospital. No charges have been filed yet, but the incident is being investigated by several agencies. In court filings this week, state police investigators said that preliminary findings from the medical examiner's office showed asphyxia as a possible cause of death. Governor Kathy Hochul said she was outraged and horrified after seeing the video and ordered the Department of Corrections to fire the 14 employees who allegedly participated. A spokesperson for the department said that 13 of those involved have been suspended without pay and one resigned. Brooks was serving a 12-year sentence after being convicted of first-degree assault for stabbing a former girlfriend.
I don't care what he's convicted of. He was convicted for that heinous crime, which was a heinous crime that he was convicted of. He was serving his time, which is how it works in the United States. You get convicted by a jury of your peers, and you are sentenced, and you carry out whatever that sentence is. Now, once you are in the custody of the state, you are to be treated accordingly. You are to be treated with rights. Everybody has them, and that's what everybody would want for their family member or themselves if they were so convicted and sent to a facility.
Reverend 𝐿_SHARPTON commended Hochul's swift action, but the incident sparked outrage among many elected officials and criminal justice advocates.
Well, Reverend 𝐿_SHARPTON, you know what? You're commending Kathy Hochul. Okay, fine. I just want to know if you'd do the same thing if she was a Republican. You'd probably, here's why 𝐿_SHARPTON is just never to be trusted, because 𝐿_SHARPTON would be blaming the governor if it was a Republican. We all know it. So I would just rather have 𝐿_SHARPTON just take a seat, but we know he won't.
Now, the New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association, the union which represents most of those allegedly in the video, says they do not condone the actions taken in the footage, but will be upholding its obligation to represent its members.
Well, right. The union can't say anything else. And as I said, I was a union delegate before I got promoted. And if I was the union delegate, yes, you will provide the members with the protections they are afforded under the contract. But I would be sick to my stomach. Wow. I don't even know what else to say. I feel like Donald Trump should actually get out ahead of this. He's not the president right now, but if he wants to set a tone, I think he should say something on this and say kind of along the lines of what I'm saying. This is completely unacceptable and will not be tolerated. We hold law enforcement to a higher standard for a reason. I think it would do the country good if he did. I don't know if he will. As I said, he is not the president right now. I don't know if we're going to hear from Joe Biden. I don't know. You know what? If I was the president of the United States, I would have had a statement out already a long time ago. As you watch this channel, I want you to be able to trust me which is why I won't shy away from things like this that put a bad light on everything that I believe in. Law enforcement, the police, corrections. But I have to be honest, and I have to be truthful and be objective. And this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. So, as I said, I'll say it again. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I am consistent with that with everybody. From the most heinous of murderers to, in this case, these law enforcement officers. I will always be that way. But after they are charged, and I believe they're going to be charged, I'm gonna make a prediction. This is going to be murder, and probably murder in the second degree. Now, if you caught on there, they didn't think they had their cameras on. Their cameras were off. However, they go into a standby mode and record without volume. I'm thinking they didn't know that. They turned their cameras off or didn't activate them and beat this guy, and he died. Now, the initial report is saying asphyxiation is a possible cause. In that video, you will see they do have him around the neck. They're punching him in the stomach. They're kicking him in the stomach. Who knows what is not caught on the camera that we haven't seen? Or maybe it was caught, but they didn't show us. At one point, he is bleeding from his face. So, I believe they will be charged with second-degree murder. And I wouldn't have any problem with that. They might even go first degree if they can get somebody to say, yeah, they planned this. These guys are going away, my prediction, for a long time, possibly some of them the rest of their lives. And good. Good. If that's what happens. If they are convicted and that's what happens, good. Anyway. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. As again, I could not show the video on here. It would get flagged immediately. But you can go to my X account at @OpinionsVary. It's pinned to the top of my profile, and you could watch it there. And you could let me know your thoughts there on X, or come back here and let me know your thoughts here. I appreciate you watching. Please like the video, share it, subscribe. I think this is an important video. And I'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.